The trailer finally dropped for Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Let's review it. Ain't no Leon. Now, my reaction to this is there's different groups of fans. I happen to be one of the ones that really had my fingers crossed for Leon. I know other people in the community were. I've actually noticed, funnily enough, there's quite a bit of copium that Leon can still be in it. And it's almost like the idea that the red jacket lady from Outbreak's daughter, which is the character,
the fitness industry doesn't want women over 40 to know this.
is a red herring, or maybe she's kidnapped, as we could kind of see in the trailer, and Leon comes to her rescue. Let's just be really honest. Objectively, there is no indication whatsoever that Leon is in the game. No objective indication. You have to really want it so bad that you're able to conspiracy theory your way into believing he's in this game. Now, I want to check something really quick. I kind of want to make this exhaustive. So the FBI, there's many agencies in the Resident Evil universe that are fictitious. You know, I'll give you yeah. No Leon for you. We could cope our way. Okay, dude, I gotta talk about this, Wesker. The cope we saw, it's almost brings a tear to my eye. I'm not gonna lie. The level of cope here. Okay, where is that? Oh, Grace. Lord. It's like... Grace. Okay, there it is. Someone said, this is Leon. Let me back up just a little bit. This is Leon. Grace. And this is Ashley. My God. Oh, my. Leon and Claire. Hey, I can dig it. So many. I think, you know, the Redfield bloodline could use some of that. I think Chris Redfield just read your comment, Wesker, your chat, and when finally someone understand, and then they saw your last name. Then they saw Wesker. And then they started roid raging. Is it just me, or does she have a very strange way of typing? It looks almost like Hunt and Peck in normal typing combo. Okay, oh, where is that? Okay, I wanted Leon as badly as the next guy. It wasn't just legacy characters. I feel like it was specifically people wanting Leon S. Kennedy. But unfortunately, I have come to terms with when life gives you lemons, don't make copiade. Just take a big bite of that lemon, pucker up, and just let it pass, because that's reality. Sometimes you don't have to make lemonade. Sometimes it's just a big lemon. Sometimes this is not Leon. I like how it's blurred, too, to leave it to the imagination. That's not Ashley. That is not Ashley. And that is not Leon. And what the hell? This cope is so deep that they're not asking themselves, what the hell is a picture of Leon S. Kennedy doing in the FBI headquarters? No one... The cope is so deep, it eclipses basic questions.
Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
Okay, so it took people a tiny bit, but we find that Ashcroft, she is related to the red jacket lady in Outbreak. No Leon. No Chris. No Claire. No Joel. Joel. You gotta say Jill? So you know how when Lara Croft came out in DVD, a lot of people call her Laura Croft. People are like, don't you know it's Lara Croft? I'm gonna start doing that with people that say Jill. It's not Jill, it's Joel. It's Joel as pronunciated by Barry Burton. And anything Barry Burton says is canon. Any way that the way that he says it is canon. Okay, so no Joel, no Chris. Chris. I'm just gonna say their names the way that people say Leon. No Leon. You know, as Ashley in RE4 original. No Carlos. No Barry. No Sheva. No Steve from Code Veronica. And before you say, well, he died. Well, Wesker looked pretty dead now, didn't I? Like Beatrix Kiddo at the end of Kill Bill. He looked pretty dead too. No, we get Ashcroft's. Now, people have been saying daughter. Is it denoted she's the daughter in this trailer? They've just been saying it's a daughter.
Coming.
Oh god, can we zoom in on some of this stuff? Could you actually read the text of this? Imagine. We might try that later, possibly. I don't know how masochistic we want to be on this.
The report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another.
I've heard the argument there's no way in hell that Ashcroft here could be the protag because she's so nervous that in the way that she's stumbling around, there's no way she's punching boulders in this installment of Resident Evil. Although I think Resident Evil may be long past its boulder punching days in general. However, I will say, they do throw people off. You've heard of Clark Kent, right? Well, if you saw a trailer with Clark Kent, would you say there's no way this guy could save the Earth from superpowered aliens? I mean, I'm not saying she's Clark Kenting it. I'm not. But you can't say that she's not. We don't have enough information to know that she's not the protagonist.
One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating. Now, I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
I need your eyes on the crime scene. The Renwood Hotel.
I know he said your eyes on the crime scene, as in, I need you on the crime scene, I need your technical skills. I think it's interesting it showed a close-up of her eyes when he said that. I think the writing in the visual is has high synergy because it draws attention to her eyes, which looked really good with the RE engine. Just a little bit of subtle writing there, a little nuance, her eyes, and then it shows her eyes.
I know. That's where your mother was murdered.
This is me thinking about my playthrough of Resident Evil 0. If anybody is maybe you're a Rebecca fan and you haven't played RE0 yet, you might want to consider if you one day want to be staring at the floor and doing this, because this is my experience with... What was that? What? Something you buying? It's like... What is that, dude? That is capturing my interest. What? More than any other people. What is that? Who is that? It doesn't seem like an infected, right? Is she thinking... Yeah, her eyes, and then it shows what the graphics can do for the aesthetics of that character.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past. Grace.
Now, is that her flashbacks, or is that what her mom went through?
Mother was murdered.
I actually like how they do that. The sound and the visuals are really cool. I like that.
Alyssa died 8 years ago.
It's almost like this guy's a discount Sith. Like, look at this, like he looks like a Sith in garbage bags. Like he's Darth Wastus. He's Darth Wastus. It looks, you know how like Nemesis? Like, look, it's like shiny garbage bags. You know how Nemesis, the new Nemesis, looks like he's wrapped in garbage bags? They got something for ominous folks in like garbage bag looking costumes.
Alyssa died.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. She could be on a cosmetics ad. Look at this. Like, and I'm assuming the gender. I assume the gender. I assume this is male. What if this is like, what if this is female? They could be they could advertise cosmetics. Oh, okay. Was an umbrella involving cosmetics?
Perhaps it's time for
Confirmed.
face the past.
That was her model. That was the model for the umbrella commercials, dude. This is it. This isn't just an Outbreak connection. Look, dude. I've seen umbrella ads in game. Which game is it that shows the umbrella ads? This is the umbrella model, dude. Look, sporting those trash bags. That is high fashion. We all know that the fashion industry goes through really strange trends, right? Well, they're way behind because the real pioneers of fashion are the Japanese. We know this. We know this because of the fashion industry in Japan. And now, like, Shibuya sells the most cutting edge fashion accessories. So, trash bags. That is the front of the pioneer for fashion. Trash bag. Dude, trash bag hoodie, dude. Now just imagine, did he put like a row of pins on the end of the trash bag right there? Like over the hood.
Alyssa died 8 years ago.
They never did say her mother, did they? Or am I missing something? Is it implied in a way that I haven't noticed?
Grace.
That, oh yeah, remember? I need your eyes on this case. They're making like real subtle puns. Look at that. It looks like she's got, dude, she's got eyelashes coming out of her freaking color of her eye. I wonder if that's meant to look weird, like she's mutating. Maybe? Well, your glasses are gone. You're going to have to do a Velma and find them, but that's going to be kind of hard when you're strapped down to the thing here. Okay, this. Okay, I don't know if many people are going to draw attention to this. But I actually low-key fucking love it. I low-key love it when they make these subtle visual references to the movies. And I really don't care what anybody says. Although, I noticed the Resident Evil movies have gotten a little bit more favorable in people's minds because I heard that Raccoon City movie was complete trash. Resident Evil, Mila. Okay, you see that curtain moving like that? Am I going to be able to find this? At the beginning, watch the beginning again. When she's walking through the mysterious house, you will notice that there is a visual very similar with the blowing of the curtains down the hallway. It's right before that team, that umbrella team, came in and apprehended her.
In 3.
Yeah, this. Dude, watch the Resident Evil 1 movie with Mila Jovovich. This is this visual is highly borrowed.
Stay close.
Let's see. It reminds me of the Jack Baker wall with the ugly brick and the just missing posters. You know, how does your shit get this messy anyway? Like, who ripped this off? Was someone uncomfortably big for this claustrophobic tiny room? Did Nemesis walk by here and accidentally rip off the poster with his giant trash bag covered shoulder or something? I mean, what's going on here?
They're coming.
Nice visuals.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
These guys give me like Baker vibes, just the way they live. Doesn't this look like Baker vibes? Not that this is tied into the Bakers. I'm not gonna do like the Leon Cope thing where like, hey, I saw a candlestick in this room and Alucard has a candlestick in Castlevania, therefore Alucard is gonna be in this game. I'm not doing that. But isn't this the Baker vibes right here?
The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Is this her kidnapper? Okay, I cannot help myself. There's a little bit of me that gets annoyed when people that don't have suspension of disbelief. They're the kind of people like, actually, if you fell out of an airplane for more than 60 seconds, the doubling of the momentum according to physics would have it you would hit the ground if you were actually at 200 feet long before they hit the ground. I'm not necessarily that guy, but I have to say this. Look, we got a nuclear-made crater. A nuclear-made crater. That's called a nuclear bomb. How many meters away are these buildings standing? You don't simply have standing buildings around a nuclear crater. Like I said, I hate to be Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, I watched Titanic, Joe Rogan, and I noticed that when Leonardo DiCaprio stares into the sky in horror because he's going to drown to death, that stars weren't in that position at the time of the Titanic crashing. It's like, what? It's like, excuse me, sir, this is a Wendy's. Okay. But I have to say, that being said, I hate to be that guy, but I gotta be that guy. Nuclear crater. Nuclear created crater. Standing buildings. Like right here. Like around it. Why don't they just have a building right here in the freaking crater while they're at it? However, if it means that this shot is trying to show us that it's very plausible, this is a primer image to show us it's very plausible that the Raccoon Police Department is still standing and there's ruins, I'm all for the fudging of reality. Because to me, if you want to give me an excuse to have me go through the Raccoon Police Department ruins, give me an excuse.
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
It's the same shirt. Well, I feel like it was like Lane saying, have you seen same shirt I've seen? Oh, you mean shit. Oh, well, You said shirt originally. You originally said shirt, so I get to flex the Leon skins here. I had thought today, Moan. I had thought to play Copium Leon on RPD today, but I think I'm just going to react. I think I'm just going to react to the trailer. Now, I know, do not take offense to this. I think that you may be like me, Moan, and you may have really wanted Leon in the game. And maybe your brain kind of wanted it to be Leon to say this, seen the same shit I've seen. Also, let's listen to the voice when he says that. I've heard people think Chris, the guy that says you haven't seen the shit that I've seen.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to.
Now, I love these shots of Raccoon City. Now, if you're like me, you wanted some legacy characters. You know when you're on a game show and you don't get the trip to Hawaii, but then you came in second place and you got a toaster? If the toaster is getting Raccoon City ruins, I will take that. I will take it.
Keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Now that doesn't sound like a Leon-style voice acting to me, although they could have anybody voice act that they want. That seems like a thing Leon would say, but listen to the voice. I actually agree with the Chris people. That's how I'd imagine a Chris versus a Leon.
The same shit I've seen.
You hear the I've been doing too much roids and I've been drinking lots of protein shakes, brother, and I've been hitting the gym. You hear that? You hear this kind of voice acting? That's way more Chris.
Please know that you. We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
No, that's not a Leon.
The same shit I've seen.
No, it's too deep. Listen to the I'm not saying it's Chris. I'm saying it's more Chris than Leon.
Shit I've seen.
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
Leon S. Kennedy, you're our only hope. Sorry, no legacy characters for you. This is a lot of actual players when they saw this was actually me. Okay? This was actually me. I saw the trailer. I had my Leon pompons. I was give me a L. Give me a E. Give me a O. Give me a N. S. K. E-N-N. I'm not gonna try to spell Kennedy in case I F up again. Leon. And then the trailer played and I saw that Outbreak lady in the red outfit's daughter, and I did this. I literally did this. Right around the same time he did it. That's what I said. I said that to Wesker. I would, you know, in the stages of grief, I was going through the denial stage. Oh, wow. You know this, oh. So, this guy right here. That's many Leon Kennedy fans right now. That guy looks a lot like the Pancakes House guy from the Coen brother movie, Fargo. That was also a lot of Leon fans after seeing this trailer. I mean, I myself felt this way, and I know a lot of people felt this way that I read comments. I saw a lot of fan videos basically just assuming, they would call them leaks, just assuming it was Leon, would be in the game.
Everyone's gone.
Now, sometimes they do super subtle stuff. Is there any significance for the D missing and then the R with a sideways P? Is this that pure showing RPD ruins, like dramatization of the sign is messed up? Or is there a subtle communication with this? Or is this complete arbitrary? Sometimes I've seen with Easter eggs, they like cross out different letters. Let's try it. We're not really seeing the C or the O. Dude, you've heard anarchy in the UK, right? How about RPD in the... Hey, D for dentist! There's no dentist! Wesker, you figured it out. RPD, the missing D, they're missing a dentist, so they look like this. They look like this. See? This is when you don't have a dentist. Oh my god, that's the missing Raccoon Police Dentistry, dude. It's not even the RPD. It's a dentist simulation is going to be the next game.
Gone.
Okay, that is so out of anything in this game, like I said, the trip to Hawaii would have been a Leon. I'll take the toaster. I'll at least use it. When I play this game, I'm going to feel pretty good about the fact you're at the RPD run. So I'm not going to lie. Dude, that's why he's missing. He's the missing D because he's the dentist. That's why the D in RPD is missing. I feel like just running with this dentist thing now. The next hour is going to be taking the circular peg. Well, look at it. Is it really a circular peg through a triangular hole? You're not thinking dentist? So hey, in this channel, we send positive, constructive messages that could change your life. If you're having an issue with wisdom teeth, you see how these teeth here are crooked? If you don't get wisdom teeth taken care of, what ends up happening is your teeth will get crooked like this because the wisdom teeth that grow will push the teeth in. And they'll push them crooked like this. So cosmetically and pain-wise, you want to get wisdom teeth taken. If I take anything from this Resident Evil 9 Requiem trailer, it's if you get your wisdom teeth in, you need to seek a dentist immediately or your teeth could look like this. That's what I really get from this. Requiem means end. Okay? This means the end of your oral hygiene. Okay, I'm hitting the gas and I'm moving past this. We're done with teeth. We're done. We're done with teeth. We're done with teeth. We're done with teeth. We're done. Where's Leon? That's not Leon. Unless go. Oh, there he is. We're done with teeth. No, Leon. Oh my God, we're done with teeth. Oh my God, we're not done with teeth. No! I think Leon is troll face smiling at a lot of fans now. He's probably figured out a way to completely retire from the crap. He's probably at his own farm. He's raising his own chickens, all this kind of stuff. He almost looks like Brad Pitt in this one, doesn't he? Doesn't that have like Brad Pitt vibes? But dude, I'm sorry to tell you, he's just smiling. He's just sitting in his tractor right now, smiling, making corn, because he knows the whole world is going to go straight to hell, and he'll just let Chris do it. It's like social loafing. Have you ever heard of social loafing? Leon is going to social loaf for the rest of the series. Leon is not only not in this game, and will not be in this game, you will never see him again. That's actually a bigger possibility than him being in this game, is you're never going to see him again. Oh, isn't that tough? It's almost like Leon is the dad that went out for bread and never came back. Mouthwash, dude. Okay. Social loafing is a phenomenon in psychology where Leon S. Kennedy exerts less effort in a STARS task when working alone. It occurs due to perceived reduced accountability and shared responsibility for Chris Redfield. Okay. I have made a few tweaks. I got more specific than broad, but that's social loafing. Leon is forever now going to be the social loafer. Okay. Mouthwash. Did Umbrella? Did I say I would like a really like a live, constantly active, reactive chat. But then when I have a chat, they say mouthwash. All I have to say is mouthwash, and I'm doing did Umbrella create mouthwash? Do I really? Should I even look at for dogs? Did Umbrella create mouthwash for dogs? Dude, there is no specific information available about whether Umbrella a pet brand. What? Dude, Umbrella is a pet. Umbrella Corporation is real. Oh my god! Umbrella Corporation is real! Umbrella Corporation is real! And it's a pet company. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my dog. Oh my god. Cerebus. Oh my god. Look. Oh my god, dude. Umbrella's real. It's a pet company. Mouthwash. They're going to get an infection through the mouthwash. Dude, this is predictive programming. Umbrella Corporation is going to infect our dogs. Dude, there's a reason I don't own dogs. You want to see why? Oh my god, they know it now. Look at that, dude. Look at this. Doberman Pinscher. There's no specific about whether Umbrella. I don't care, man. We're going straight down this rabbit hole. Umbrella Pet Company. Do they own stock? Because we could have Leon say their stock plummeted. If we look for their recent dip after the tariffs. Umbrella Pets. Are they publicly traded? I want to show Umbrella Pets stock. No. Wait. No, PetMed. All right, dude. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out, dude. I'm going down rabbit holes that are starting to like claustrophobically close in on me, and I realize I'm going to be talking 20 minutes about umbrella pets. Yeah, dude, you could get drunk on mouthwash, dude. You're looking at like a doggy mouthwash overdose. It was, dude. I'm telling you, umbrella pets. Watch out for those guys. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can find some more interesting tidbits
Tease the
in here.
past. Grace.
So I'm assuming this she gets captured after she's making that investigation that guy sent her to.
Stay close. They're coming.
Keep your Leons close
You're the one that I've
and
been
keep
searching
your
for.
Ashford's
Special one. The chosen one. This
cousin's
mission
roommate closer.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
So the listen to the voice inflection right there. Listen
Have
to,
you seen the same shit I've seen?
okay, you hear the at the end there? I'm not joking around.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
That sing, that's a very Mr. T or Barrett way to say sing. That to me sounds like it could be an African American character. I don't think that's Chris Redfield. I don't think that's Leon. Now there's African American. There's a couple. It's not the skinny guy. Could this be the security guard guy from Outbreak? The way have you seen this shit that I've seen? He's got that Mr. T inflection to it, which is commonly a way to make African Americans sound in media. What do you do here? Oh god, I'm glad I'm out of that rabbit hole, dude. I escaped. I escaped like Beatrix Kiddo, escaping from being buried alive. Imagine if I was still talking about Umbrella Pets after Umbrella Corporation. Okay, okay. Outbreak, Resident. Characters. Now let's hear how it. Okay. Um. Okay. Marvin. Is it Marvin? Okay, let's try Marvin. And whoever said this could be a legacy character that's seen some crap. Wait, that Marvin? Marvin? I thought there was another guy that was like a security guard. This guy. That guy. I hope that they have the characters. There we go. I don't know what that was I was looking at. Is it Mark? I'm trying to see potential The shit that I've seen. Yeah, there we go. All credit to Ink Ribbon here. Ink Ribbon is awesome, I have to say.
Ink Ribbon.
If you want to go crazy with the lore. Like, if you want to absolutely go crazy with the lore.
The game I still consider to have captured the essence of Raccoon City better than any other game in the franchise. The most quoted characters in Outbreak.
Help me, please!
Okay, do you see, too, how Mark has an obvious African-American accent to his speaking? Now, you wouldn't have him sound exactly like that anymore in the 20s.
And with that...
So, but you would want him to sound how they depict African Americans in media now. Now listen really closely. Oh, listen very closely. Listen very closely to his voice, okay? Chicken jockey. This meme will never get old. That's why I have to say chicken jockey. There's a very obscure Manson song called Wow. He says it never gets old. That's why I have to say wow. That became an inside joke with someone. We'd repeat it to each other daily for about months. Now it's permanently locked into my brain. Okay. Okay, you hear the scene? You seen the shit that I've seen? You hear that?
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Okay, that's how you have an African American sound in contemporary media. It's not Leon. I had someone in chat say they thought it might be Leon. I think there was a lot of want and need for Leon to be in this game. And I think because it's so obviously unfulfilled, there's a need to cope and try to see Leon where he's not. Kind of like how Mexican Catholic ladies would see Jesus or Mary on tortillas. You know how you can like look into the sky and go, wow, that cloud is actually looking a lot like a dragon today. That cloud's looking a lot like Umbrella, you know? And look, some of the clouds kind of dark and stripes. So, no, it doesn't look like an umbrella, actually. Your brain just has umbrella imprinted on it. People that see Leon in this trailer, it's just that Leon's there. Listen, I may not be involved in the same cope as you, but I understand the cope because I was one of the people going, come on, not just give us a legacy character, give us Leon. And I want to justify Capcom not putting Leon in, though. I think there's a very special reason that since 6,
Everyone's gone.
I mean, good lord, that voice actress sounded more like the latest Ada voice actress than I think that guy sounded like Leon. I love how it's missing its head. You know how there's a fine line between horror and comedy? I find this delivery very humorous. Also, you ever notice this? Requiem, and then there's 9 in the queue, right? God dang, Capcom has been obsessed with Resident Evil having a letter in a word represent the number of the game. 8 was village. I wonder if they actually made Resident Evil in a village just so they could have VIL meaning V11 meaning 7. Or you know what I mean? 8, whatever. What is this? I need to keep it on. I just gotta check real quick. I don't want this to be a variety stream today. Oh. What is... Oh, it's a game. Looks like a parry simulator game. It looks like Game of Thrones parry simulator. So it looks fascinating. I don't know about you guys, but games where you constantly parry, it's like tennis to me. I love it. It's 2 degrees above tending to gardens and mowing grass as far as hobbies go. Wow, she's all in for the fandom, dude. Look at this. She's all in, dude.
Hey guys, and welcome back to this game. Today we're gonna check out the Resident Evil.
See, look, she's been look at those. Look at those. Like any dentist would just go, honestly, she could be using mouthwash from Umbrella Pets. She's wearing the Umbrella logo because those teeth are immaculate. She better be careful though, because I think the mouthwash may be the cause for the virus.
Evil 9 trailer. I am so excited. Resident Evil is one of my favorite franchises.
I know, it's exciting.
Got ready, and here we are. Without further ado, let's check it out. So
when you took your shower before doing the stream, did you use Umbrella mouthwash? Now, if you start getting irritable for no reason or any other kind of symptoms, I really want you to don't go see a doctor, because then you're gonna bite somebody at the hospital. It's gonna become like the hospital at Raccoon City.
This could be Jill.
It's not Leon wish. It was a Jill wish. Of course she was thinking like Jill. She actually kind of looks like how you would imagine a real life Jill. Oh, I'm feeling so sorry for the people that wanted legacy characters. She's like, this could be Jill. No, you got Alyssa Ashcroft's roommate's cousin's favorite waitress from Jill's Sandwiches.
Rose?
Oh, this is so sad. To me, this is sad because look, the Resident Evil community has grown an attachment to these legacy characters. So, think of all the media. Think of like Scream. You know, people really have an attachment to like Dewey, right? You remember Dewey. I'm not good with character names. I remember Dewey. So it hurts when he gets killed. There's certain IP where you care about the characters. Resident Evil is a great IP for people really giving a shit about Leon, about Claire, about Chris, Jill. Those are probably, in my opinion, the major four. One of my favorite villains of all time is Albert Wesker. I'm still deluded into thinking maybe they cloned him after he got rocketed out of existence from Chris and Sheva in Resident Evil 5. There's still a part of me that wants to believe he could come back. Oh, she's like, Rose? Jill? No, it's Alicia Ashcroft's cousin's niece's pet walker. dog walker, who is actually a customer from Umbrella Pets.
Grace Ashcroft,
Yes?
my office.
Oh,
It's actually sad to me to watch people watch these and wait for their legacy characters, and we find the red coat ladies,
She's
oh,
looking into the files.
like,
The umbrella stuff.
if
you know,
the
dog
report
walker.
yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body. One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating.
Oh.
Dude, I can tell she's a Resident Evil fan, because look at this. You can tell she's a Resident Evil fan.
This is about the report you asked for yesterday. It'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body.
Look at that. The guy mentions a corpse. And look at those eyes light up. This is Resident Evil fan confirmed. Okay, for all those gatekeepers out there that see a female that likes something that's traditionally thought to be liked by guys, if he goes, we found another body in someone's eyes instantaneously. Corpse? Yes, you are a fan. See this? See the look? That's a Resident Evil fan. Her eye right there looks like the eyeball on the cover of that handheld one, the one on the ship.
One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating.
And I'm feeling that, I don't know if she's complete. I'll find out later. But the way that she's looking for legacy characters makes me feel very similar to how I felt. I know Bach Basoup had Leon brain syndrome before watching this. I had Leon brain syndrome. I find this trailer sad because it didn't give us a legacy character. It gave us a super obscure person that knew a character. A super obscure character that someone is somehow related to.
Uh-oh.
Now I need a good technical analyst on this.
But I don't want to make an assumption that she's disappointed. I don't know that.
I need your eyes on the crime scene. The Renwood Hotel.
I need your eyes to light up when I mention dead bodies.
I know. That's where your mother was murdered.
If you're a true fan.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
That's cruel, mate.
Grace.
Oh, actually, this YouTuber makes a good point that I missed. Saying, hey, they're dead 8 years ago, maybe you should move on. It is kind of cruel. That would be, yeah, if someone in my family died, it would take a lot longer than 8 years for it to just be, shrug and move on. That's a good point.
Upside down?
She's not literally upside down, but somehow she could intuit that there would be an upside down
Oh,
shot.
this looks good.
I want to see if there's any. It seemed like she was anticipating Jill. I wonder if she thinks that any regret that we didn't get a legacy character. We got a legacy city. I mean, hey man, if you don't give me Leon, at least give me the police department that was supposed to throw him a welcome party.
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
Okay, I was looking at all the ruins and I was thinking, this is probably Raccoon City. After the bombing, you know? And this is the police station?
Yeah, you got it on your shirt. Only you still have integrity on the P, not be upside down, and you have the D.
Holy shit, did you see that?
I'm gonna finish reacting to her reaction. I'm gonna actually do this for a little bit.
Resident Evil 9?
I'm gonna react to the reactions.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. February 27th, 2026. Okay. I think this is cruel, what he said. Your mother died there. It's
Yeah,
time to
that's
go
actually
back.
an interesting point.
Ashcroft. Oh, okay. I was just looking this up because the name Ashcroft didn't ring a bell.
No,
And
it didn't to
apparently
most
they're
people.
in Resident Evil Outbreak.
Outbreak
and I
is
haven't played that one yet. I have
obscenely
played
obscure.
a lot of the games, but I haven't played that one. Also,
Well,
I
that's
wanna
because
check
you
out
gotta
this
be a
monster with yourself for a
neurodivergent
split
nerd to
second.
be so deep into the lore
This
that you're
thing.
like like you know
Ew,
Outbreak.
that looks so cool and creepy. Oh my god. Looks like I will have to play a few.
Alright, let's...
There's a number of
This
ways to get
guy
strong,
is a pretty big
and they all add up to
YouTuber.
one membership.
This guy's
The
like
Planet
mostly
Fitness
known for
Black
like Street Fighter and fighting games, right?
But first, we have a very special message from.
I'm actually...
They should have made her step on the camera.
Happy birthday.
Resident Evil. Now it is time for the next many places, really any place.
Engine looks like.
Grace.
Problem is,
Grace.
it's not Rose,
Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
but that's a Capcom character, all right.
Oh,
I've heard that comment before. You see the way that her hair is and the face is? It's got... Like, you know how people, they look like their parents because of genetics? If you think of a game engine as hereditary, people are going to look a certain way, right? Like, the hereditary from the engine makes them look a certain way.
Did they lie?
It's almost
Bro,
like
did they
genetic,
lie
it's
earlier?
similar to genetic inheritance. I think a lot of this, people are unsure what they're watching,
Hi
so
guys, and welcome back to.
we're gonna get less out of this than you would think. I was gonna do that, but a lot of it is people are gonna be watching and concentrating about what they're seeing. Okay, let's see. That was his name. Wesker's son. Wesker. Jake. Right? That's it.
Don't try this baking soda trick unless you're ready to last all night until she says stop. Last Thursday night, I thought my husband was having some kind of midlife crisis.
Resident Evil 6
Oh my god.
possibly too much.
Dude, I'm just here for the Resident Evil, man.
But until then, I thought we'd take a
God,
closer look
baking
at
soda
the
Viagra. Dude, people are getting ghetto, huh? You know times are good when people are using baking soda to get a diving board constructed over their what they're gonna dive into.
skip just right to it so that I don't waste your time and I don't have anything clever to write here. So without further decided to
Oh,
give him
okay.
her surname instead.
Hey. You all can have your Leon wish. Well, I do too. For Requiem. Listen, I know the game was
His
bad.
dangerous background.
It's kind of like Val Kilmer in the Batman movie. Like, I know the Batman movie was bad, but look at his acting. You can't tell me that Val Kilmer wasn't a good Batman. Like, I know Jake is in Resident Evil 6, but Jake is cool, just the rest of the game sucks. Like, you'll never see Jake again because he
Mother
was in
decided
6.
to give him her surname instead. Jake was born in Edonia, which is a fictional European country that is in the middle of a conflict.
Okay.
Jake had
Back on task. Now, let's
We
see.
once again return to Resident Evil Outbreak, the game I still consider to have captured the essence of
Okay,
Raccoon City
I
better
actually
than any
want
other
to
game in the
see.
franchise. I thought we'd take a closer look at the lovable dad of the group and learn more about him, especially
where's
since he's one of the most quoted
Ashcroft?
characters in Outbreak. And with that, from being a family man to pushing it real good, here are 25 facts about Mark Will.
Okay. Let's check this out. Maybe there's clues to
I am
something
sad
this
to
game
say
is gonna
this
do.
my final video covering Outbreak characters.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that,
I
sir.
saved one of the best characters for last, though, because you guys have been asking for this for a long time, and I am so happy to finally be doing this facts video. And joining me today is none other than Susie the Sphere Hunter, who just happens to be a very big fan of this character. So with all that, from literally breaking the game to mispronouncing her name, here are 25 facts about Alyssa Ashcroft.
Alyssa was a journalist for a newspaper called...
And she's typing! See? You know how, like, some family members, like, dude, you ever notice the Wilsons? Like, everybody drinks in that family. There's, like, a family of alcoholics. Oh my god, dude, the Johnsons. All of them will just chatter your ear off. And it's like, they're also verbal. You know how, like, the families do certain things sometimes and they're known for something? Ashcroft equals typing class.
had begun working at
Typing
Daily
class.
Raccoon. It's also worth mentioning that January Van Sant from Resident Evil Resistance
They
also
type.
briefly worked for
Ashcroft type.
journalist.
Brad Pitt in a movie
Alyssa
eats
is known for
food.
having a very
Tom Cruise in a movie,
attitude and
he
is extremely
runs.
focused on whatever
Ashcroft's
she sets her mind to.
type.
She is also the strongest and fastest female character out of the 3 Outbreak female protagonists. Alyssa has the special ability to lockpick lockers, drawers, and even some...
Master of lockpicking?
She has 4 different shaped picks to choose from, which are I,
That's
S,
hilarious.
W, and P, or if you rearrange them, it spells WISP, which is a lot easier to remember. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to choose the right lockpick to open things. It'll just be significantly faster if you use the correct one. She also can't others
Okay.
given a unique bonus item to start.
I want lore, not mechanics.
When Alyssa is an AI-controlled character in single-player mode, with her lockpick, it's
A lot of this is mechanics.
3 written on her arms. We looked all over the internet for what these numbers could mean, and it brought up everything from I love you to Bible verses to a type of Japanese train. So we'll let you guys figure out what these numbers might mean to you. In File 2, Alyssa is voiced by Wendy Lee, who is one of those voice actors that
it's
has been in so many things it's hard to list here.
Yeah,
But
look at
among
all
some of
that
her
anime.
famous roles are Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, Bulma, in
Yeah,
Dragon Ball
Cowboy
Super,
Bebop.
Haruhi, Me, Susan.
Okay.
A bulk of Alyssa's SP.
I'm not getting much lore here.
She has several SP items required to unlock her gi outfit, but all the descriptions seem to trigger some sort of reaction or feeling that she can't explain, along with being able to read her name in Japanese, despite not speaking Japanese.
Yeah, so a lot of this is like, you're so into the weeds, you wonder why you got there. Ooh, this might be interesting.
Welcome back to Wiki News. Today we're taking a deep dive.
Let's see if some people smarter than us have figured some of this out.
Alyssa Ashcroft from Resident Evil Outbreak. With the recent reveal of Resident Evil 9, officially titled Resident Evil Requiem, her legacy is suddenly back in the spotlight.
Oh, we got an AI narrator. That's okay.
To the new story.
AI can probably figure out this stuff better than a human. Ask an AI to analyze trailers.
Let's rewind to the early
Dude, it's gonna get there. I see Claire there on the 50 facts, and I go, no legacy characters, Claire. Claire, I even include you in my top legacy characters. Chris, Leon, Jill, and Claire.
Playable character in Resident Evil Outbreak and its sequel, Outbreak File Number 2. She's not your typical survivor. Alyssa is an investigative reporter with a sharp mind, a no-nonsense attitude, and a knack for uncovering the truth. In the chaos of Raccoon City's outbreak, she used her resourceful by her dated trailer for Resident Evil.
That guy looks a lot like the Pancakes House guy from Fargo. He's also the devil in Constantine. He's also the psychiatrist in Until Dawn.
Appears to be Alyssa's daughter. The trailer hints at a tragic past, with Grace's commander mentioning classic Resident Evil.
Well, you're not telling us anything we didn't know from just watching the trailer. I mean, I'm looking for like people in the know telling us something. They go, oh, okay, I'll bite. I'll bite. I'll
Hey
bite.
everybody, hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope you guys are drinking plenty of water, eating plenty of food, taking care of your mental health, and getting some sunlight. So
No,
today
no,
we
no.
actually have a
Wait.
special one.
Like this
Hey,
guy, dude, this guy's making sure that we don't accidentally take Umbrella Pet's mouthwash and find ourselves infected. Like this guy's taking
Everybody,
care.
hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope you guys are drinking plenty of water,
No.
eating plenty of food, taking
No. Okay, I'm 0 for 2.
care of your mental health.
Taking care of your mental health. Dude. You know hip to be square? That meant to be ironic, meaning it's cool to be a nerd and like take care of yourself. Dude, it's I ain't hip. If it's hip to be square and to take care of yourself and watch what you eat, I ain't
Getting
hip.
some sunlight. So
Well, that Southwest, living in the Southwest, yes.
today we actually
Yes, I touched grass, but I didn't. Well, oh, who am I lying? What am I trying to do? Look cool? Like I don't, whoa, No, I ate some good salmon. What was the other one? This guy's really has a
Hope you
list.
guys are having an amazing day. Hope you guys are drinking plenty of water.
Drinking plenty of water. Dude, this is some Joel Osteen stuff, dude. Check this out. When the water breaks, well, Ashcroft, her water broke and she gave birth to Grace. Where's him talking about drinking the water? This guy went on 30 minutes about drinking water one time. That time that Joel Osteen said drink water? Is he talking about water?
When we take steps of faith, some people won't understand. They may find fault.
Dude, watching him, my mouth just went like this. Inadvertently. I didn't mean to. Well, anyway, dude, the guy talked about
Everybody, hope you guys are having an amazing
drinking
day. Hope you
8
guys are
glasses of
drinking plenty
water a day.
eating plenty
And he talked for about 30
of
minutes
food,
about
taking
it.
care of your mental health, and getting some sunlight. So today we actually have a
So, what about making your bed? What about Jordan Peterson style clean your room? See, look. You can eat your food, drink your water, get some sunlight, but if you don't clean your work spot, there's a reason. Dude, my guy, Conjured Lion. There's a reason she didn't get that report in. Notice when he's talking to her, she didn't get something in. It's because she couldn't find it. She didn't clean her work area.
a special one. Resident Evil 9 is actually
See, she types like her mother.
But it's called Resident Evil Requiem. But I do want to get more in depth when it comes to the RE Requiem trailer. If you guys like the content, make sure to like the video. And if you are
buddy.
do not want to miss any more Resident Evil content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And most importantly, guys, thank you guys for watching. And let's
Not signed in.
The video.
I tried. I tried.
We're going to go through every little single detail, what everything means specifically. We're going to try and just pinpoint every single little tiny detail.
Look, dude, he's drank his water. He's got his sunlight. He's been eating his food. He's been taking care of his mental health. I think this guy has what it takes to lead us into knowing all the small Easter eggs.
Obviously, we do have this building, and this is like the FBI building that we do see in the beginning of the trailer. This isn't the same organization that's with Leon. This is actually FBI, which is a whole different entity than what we're used to, Leon being in DSO.
Yeah, you know what was really weird about FBI? Isn't that like too real? Like Resident Evil, I expect stuff like DSO, Division of Security Operations, like STARS. You know what I mean? I like these fictional acronyms for these institutions.
Before it was actually called.
FBI,
DSO is actually called the FBO. So these are two different organizations. This is just the FBI and has no effect.
Kind of reminds me of the DSO was meant to be the FBI, but they took poetic license, and then the writers of this game just went in for FBI.
As far as
They should have went with DSO.
concerned.
They should have went with DSO.
Their organization in general. So then the camera pans inside of the building, and we do have this gentleman here who is actually the higher up for our new character here, which her name is actually Grace Ashcroft. So I do want to talk about this part in particular because it's heavily reminiscent to the very first Resident Evil game. If you do not remember the
I feel like we're in good hands here. Oh, it's so reminiscent. In fact, I thought this happened before the incident. I had that in my head a long time. I thought this had happened before the catastrophe at the nuclear blast and stuff at Raccoon City, because I thought this was the grisly murders.
Back then, we did get rumors that the game is going to be heavily inspired by Resident Evil 1 Remake or Resident Evil 1 1996. And I feel like as soon as I saw this was heavily reminiscent to Resident Evil 1.
Oh,
and the documentation.
I thought that's what she was investigating at first.
Murders. When it comes to bodies being discovered in the Arklay Forest that are being quote-unquote mutilated by creatures, maybe there's a serial killer around, etc., etc. So it says
yeah, they originally thought it was like a cult group or a serial killer, the original murders.
Summer of incident, a deceased individual was discovered at an abandoned government office. Preliminary analysis suggests the deceased may be linked to a series of murders. So and then we move on here, and then we actually see who is our new character. Her name is actually Grace Ashcroft, who is actually the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft from the Resident Evil Outbreak series. So I do want to point this out in here because this is like a small little detail that a lot of people do miss on this part. But look at her desk. Her desk is extremely
I thought he was gonna. I thought this guy was gonna go full in and read the text on her glasses.
This character, and that's because she's been researching for so long, trying to gather information about what we're about to talk about.
Well, it's also reflective of her personality. She's nervous. She's clumsy. She's also messy. It fits into a pathology of what we would expect of this kind of character.
Mother actually disappeared quite some time ago, and I feel like...
But he's right. It also indicates that she's, specifically on this case, obsessed.
She has been doing a lot of research lately. She has been doing a lot of digging when it comes to these files. The whereabouts of
maybe that's also why her other work was late.
What happened to her.
And then her work was late because she was busy investigating, but it was also late maybe because she's kind of a airhead.
So the desk itself...
intelligent, but an airhead.
She's been initially through this so...
well, like the disorganized, messy professor type.
Times. Just searching for answers. So then she's told to meet him at the office right after this particular scene. So at this part in particular, she's talking about if this is like some report that you've asked before. So obviously she's been kind of sloppy when it comes to her duties. She has her task what it seems like, and she's been searching for this particular information. What I'm guessing is about her mom. Her mom being, well, Alyssa Ashcroft again. Also, I forgot to mention that she is part of the analytic team as well. So then he tells her that, yes, they found another body, and this is due to the series of...
Well, I think what she's been investigating is the bodies. So maybe on her own time, like you're suggesting. I don't know if it has anything to do with her mother, which she's investigating currently. Seems to be the case of these new murders. Which is you know, like the Star Wars prequels and the Star Wars originals, it doesn't copy, it rhymes. It's rhyming with Resident Evil 1.
For the FBI.
It's doing a sequel that rhymes.
She's kind of researching these particular murders for her very own reasons, something separate. So Grace Ashcroft is actually a technical analyst when it comes to the FBI. So then she is asked to investigate a crime scene when it comes to the Remwood Hotel, and as soon as he gives her this
Remwood
pretty much gets these PTSD.
I heard that the hotel in Outbreak is Apple, so it's not the same.
Flashbacks.
According to what I heard.
Are memories or not, but she's definitely getting some hallucination of some sort, some
not a hallucination, a flashback,
whatever it may be. Then
no, not a hallucination. She doesn't actually think the hallway is coming through the paper at her. She's not hallucinating. She's recalling. Typically in stories, someone will say, "Hey man, I was thinking of going to Pizza Hut," and then in my head, I think about when they put pineapple on my pizza on accident, and how I could even after I picked off the pineapple, I could taste the citrus on my lips and my tongue, and I'm going like this, and they're like, "You okay, man?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we could go eat at Pizza Hut." It's a flashback, not a
That's where your mother was
hallucination.
murdered initially. So another thing is, Alyssa actually died 8 years ago. So this is the
Yeah.
aftermath of this quote-unquote incident that we've yet to see. What timeline does this actually take place is pretty much unknown still.
Okay.
We can also
Okay, I'll
find a
buy that.
document in Resident Evil 7 that actually took place in 2017. So is this 8 years prior to that? 8 years prior to that would actually be 2025. So yes, this kind of indicates that
Okay.
she's gonna have to
very good.
find some way to fight her past. So who knows? Who knows what that actually means and what she actually faced in her past. But yes,
Is Dempsey? I haven't heard anyone talk about Dempsey. It's finally revealed, and all the Legacy character fans can have a collective sigh of a little bit frustrated. And it still looks good though.
So who knows? Who knows what that actually means and what she
I think I pretty much know why you're not seeing Legacy characters slapped onto this IP anymore. I think Resident Evil 6, sometimes people throw out the baby with the bathwater. And I think because Resident Evil 6 was so hardcore leaned into Legacy characters, and because it was so Michael Bay cheesy, those two variables got lumped together in the same basket, and they threw out the whole basket. That's why 7 and 8, even though it has Chris Redfield, minimally, it has new characters.
actually faced.
I almost called them the Hawks, like Ethan Hawke.
Past, but yes, we are diving into a lot of trauma into Resident Evil Requiem. We see flashbacks of Alyssa Ashcroft, flashbacks of the hotel itself, the crime scene. You see a bedroom.
Who's the garbage bag man? I don't know.
You basically see the inside of the hotel itself.
Garbage bag Sith.
She's actually tied up to when it looks like a bed of some sort, probably being experimented on. Probably we see like this new strain of virus that we don't know about still, but we can also assume that she was kidnapped by a group of people maybe, and also she's actually upside down, which is one of the more horrifying things in this trailer. Just waking up upside down, not knowing where you're at, being kidnapped. It's just completely horrifying and honestly devastating, especially knowing what your mom went through. Now here we have the hallway. We have the hallway that's very reminiscent.
Yeah, okay.
To the first Resident Evil, with the just curtains, just
the movie too,
because of the amount of winds that are coming.
I wonder if he means the movie. That looks a lot like a shot from the first movie.
Was going to actually have heavy inspiration from the first Resident Evil game. Now, the person that's saying "stay close," I am guessing this is actually Alyssa Ashcroft. It sounds like Jill Valentine, but the fact that she's saying "stay close," I feel like we are listening to Alyssa Ashcroft talking to a younger Grace Ashcroft, in my opinion, although it really does sound like Jill Valentine, in my opinion.
Thompson. Dude, this is so awful, man. These fans probably been fans of the series for years. So, like, check this out. So, 1996, okay? Right around the time of the release, I played this with a friend group. If you can freaking believe this, this game was scary when it first came out. The graphics are antiquated. The voice lines are so horrendous. You cannot watch them without laughing out loud. I vividly remember us being scared and being like that meme with Joe Rogan going like this when the zombies would come through the hallway. We were legitimately freaked out by this game, if you could freaking believe that. Now, this game has been with people for a long time. We were introduced to Chris, Jill, Rebecca, and Barry Wesker years ago. Years ago. If you've been following this franchise for a good portion of time, you've developed a relationship as a fan with these characters. That's it's such an intimate relationship between character and fan of this series that how much of this are you hearing could be Jill, sounds like Jill. It's like a dog that thinks it hears your car in the driveway. You go, and they're like waiting for you to come home, like sitting in front of the door. You're like waiting for Leon to step through the door, and it's not him. But the guy says it's shit that I've seen. You go, Leon? The dog's ears perk up. No, it's not.
In my opinion, although
I want to say that's the thing I take away from this trailer the most. I find people interesting. I find IPs interesting. I've been following Resident Evil. I almost said Final Fantasy, some kind of Freudian slip. I mean, that's another series I've been following for a long time. I've been following Final Fantasy longer than Resident Evil. To be fair, Final Fantasy's been out longer. But so I find it really, the thing about this trailer that I find the most interesting is the fans looking for their legacy characters, not seeing them, but coping that they could still be there. You know, the cope. I find it tragic.
It does sound like Joe Valentine, in my opinion.
But Capcom effed up when they made 6. 6, they gave us Ashley. No. Is it Sherry or Ashley? My brain is getting crosswired. Resident Evil 6, Jake. Sherry. Excuse me, from Resident Evil 2. I knew I was making a stupid error. I caught myself. Okay, they gave us a legacy character in Sherry. They give us a legacy character in Ada. They gave us a legacy character in Leon. They give us a legacy character in Chris. They got all the legacy dudes. All the legacy dudes together in one game. The game made Batman and Robin look like a Chris Nolan movie, who also directed a Batman movie. It made it look like Chris Nolan made a 4th Batman movie you weren't aware of called Batman and Robin. Resident Evil 6 was that corny. It made that movie look that way. And then afterwards, they wanted to go back to the roots, and the variable that got associated with the corny was putting in a bunch of legacy characters. That's why we got Ethan, and we got a little bit of Chris Redfield. But they're avoiding the cowbelling legacy characters because of Resident Evil 6 spoiled the whole batch.
That does sound like Nicole Thompson.
So they're avoiding doing that. I believe you have Resident Evil 6 to blame for the fact you're not seeing much legacy here.
Guy, when it comes to this chair here, I do want to point something out. I do want to point a few things out. First of all, he does have
but this is what's
outfit, like a Wesker-like midnight outfit. I'm not saying this is Albert Wesker. A midnight like Nicole Thompson.
This is the Wesker would never be caught dead chilling like this. Well, I mean, it's like a black jacket.
Here. I do want to point something out. I do want to point a few things out. First of all, he does have a midnight outfit, like a Wesker-like midnight outfit.
I mean, you know, this guy has a red stripe on a white shirt. There's red stripes and white on an umbrella. I'm not thinking this guy works for Umbrella because the guy's wearing black. There's not much Wesker about this guy.
He has heavy connections with, well, no pun intended, with the connections themselves. His whereabouts are currently unknown. He's presumed dead, but is considered alive at the same time. No one.
Wesker? Who considers Wesker alive?
So, this mysterious guy, when it comes to this chair here, I do want to point
fans or canon? fans are canon or stuff that is being alluded to by canon, which is really tricky to figure out because it's easy to be a fan and cope your way into thinking there's allusions to things that there are not.
Something out. I do want to point a few things out. First of all, he does have a midnight outfit, like a Wesker-like midnight outfit. I'm not saying
A
this
midnight
is
outfit. You mean black?
I think this is either Brandon Bailey.
You mean as black as midnight?
Since Resident Evil 5. I say this because he has heavy connections with, well, no pun intended, with the connections themselves. His whereabouts are currently unknown. He's presumed dead, but is considered alive. This is either Brandon Bailey, who has been in the shadows since Resident Evil 5. I say this because he has heavy connections with, well, no pun intended, with the connections. Who has been in the
Okay, this is interesting.
I'm not saying this is Albert Wesker. I do think this is either Brandon Bailey,
Brendan Bailey. Okay, this guy's leading me down some interesting rabbit holes. Is that like high-pitched blonde guy that was all creepy? He was killed though, wasn't he? Is that who he's talking about? Okay, people are talking about this, okay? Brendan Bailey. Well, give me a picture. Brendan Bailey was a virologist and protege, James Marcus. Like many founding members, okay, he was a founding member. Oh, this would be okay. It's not. This ain't no Leon, okay, but I go for a Bailey. When Bailey was born is uncertain. Okay, we don't. Why does everyone care about the birth dates of characters? Okay, we're not sending them a birthday card. They don't have a mailing address. They're not real. The circle included both Marcus and Lord Spencer. Okay, I want to look up this guy. Do we never see him? I thought maybe they just didn't have a picture of him. What's going on here? Well, that would make sense too. I like where this guy's going with this actually, because look, you're not really seeing the guy. Like for some reason he's like out of the picture, literally out of the picture.
No matter what kind of work your team does.
Yeah, who is this Brandon Bailey? We're gonna educate ourselves on Resident Evil lore while we're analyzing and having conjecture about the trailer.
We've been in the Shadows of Rose DLC coming out in 2022. It's been over a year since we've really had any new content on the continued story outside the remakes. Not to mention the fact that Shadows of Rose gave us very little in terms of the continued narrative. However, a few months back, when I was brushing through the Resident Evil 0 story for my lore videos, I happened across a name that caught my attention. As you may have guessed, that person's name was Brandon
Bailey.
He's one of,
BB.
not the only tie to the Umbrella founder.
He's got the same name as Beatrix's daughter, BB.
The story has left.
Oh my god. Oh my god! What if Brendan Bailey was a dude? He had a red tie and a shirt.
Of who Brandon Bailey is, then you're not alone. He has a kind of covert importance to the series that, if you're like me, you probably wouldn't pick up on. His first introduction to the games came in Resident Evil 5, but so far he's been entirely relegated to the documents.
Along
with James Marcus's mentor, were the first people to discover the progenitor virus in Africa. They'd made the expedition based on a book entitled Survey of Natural History, which outlined various customs.
Dude, I'm loving this. One of this guy is one of the OGs. Dude.
Creatures and plant life from around the region. They'd arrived at the location the book mentioned to find a place known as the Stairway of the Sun.
This game, by the way, Resident Evil 5, I know people like it. I freaking love this game. Maybe it was too redundant from 4 or something. It wasn't like the new thing like 4. This game is underappreciated. I love 5.
And in its garden, they would find a flower which contained...
I have a pretty wicked case of ADHD, and if I'm not completely into a game, I'll drop it like a hot freaking potato. And this game I finished.
The basis for a
It took me years to finish 4. I finished this game quicker than I finished 4.
They would dub progenitor. Unfortunately for them, however...
My habits as a gamer appreciated this game more than 4, but my conscious mind that can analyze variables, obviously 4 is better.
The location was
right?
sacred ground by the local Nidapaya tribe, and they would be forced to fend off constant attacks while they did their initial testing. These attacks...
I think Resident Evil 4 won through novelty.
Push them out of the area entirely.
This one had a little bit of
several
redundancies.
Samples of the flower to further test once they returned home from their trip. At the time, Marcus worked at a Swiss university, but when the samples they'd brought back with them didn't grow in the
What's with this?
laboratories back home,
He wasn't playing the lottery. He wasn't in Vegas.
his funding would be cut,
Oh,
forcing
okay.
Marcus into the arms of an old acquaintance of his, Oswellie Spencer.
Okay.
Spencer would offer to help fund the program on the caveat that the research be done under his supervision with no communication to the larger scientific community, a request which Marcus would accept, bringing his assistant Bailey along for the ride. Spencer would establish the
I wonder if this could be Bailey. Let's see.
funds for this
Let's see the argument that that could be
Marcus and
Bailey.
Bailey, it was becoming glaringly apparent that they couldn't reproduce the conditions to grow more samples of the progenitor flower. After a few short years, they would run out of all the samples they'd collected and would begin making plans for another trek into the African marshlands. They would bring these plans to Spencer, but Spencer would ultimately turn them down, instead suggesting that Bailey go alone so that Marcus could continue the invaluable research in a laboratory fit for his expertise. Marcus and Bailey would agree to these conditions, and in the coming months, Bailey would make the long
Bailey is like,
to help establish
if Resident Evil was a Bible, Bailey was hanging out with Adam and Eve, man. Like if you look at the Garden of Eden, if you look at this progenitor plant in the African marshes, this guy goes back all the way to the beginning.
This facility until 1998, when it would be shut down after the Raccoon City debacle. But what's even more interesting, and what makes Brandon Bailey of particular note for the current events of the games, is that he was actually the founder of current Big Bad, The Connections, as we can see in a report from the BSAA uncovering...
Reliably covered with a criminal organization. Okay.
by Zoe Baker.
He went Breaking Bad. Hey, dude, we gotta do a Resident Evil Breaking Bad where you like, Bailey does a Walter White. They're both scientists.
Are basically all the details that we have about Brandon at present.
Bailey went Breaking Bad.
This was something revealed to us in RE8. I would assume that whenever the connections are finally confronted by the heroes in RE9 or whatever, their founding and Brandon specifically will be something that we learn a good deal more about. Umbrella as an organization is a concept that's been danced around in the series for a very long time at this point. They've been disbanded since Resident Evil 4, and yet we keep getting references to them even now.
Their stocks plummeted.
5, we got glimpses into their founding and saw the demise of Spencer. In 6, Carla Radamez named her organization Neo Umbrella. In 7, we got the introduction of Blue Umbrella, and in 8, we saw where Spencer got the idea for the Umbrella and his connections to Miranda.
Okay.
Clearly, Capcom wants to keep the legacy of Umbrella alive, and I
Gotcha.
feel like Brandon is a real shot at actually giving us a story about someone who is associated with the
And yeah, okay.
organization in an important position at the
Well,
time.
I would like this.
Not to mention the harm that his own organization would go on to cause after his separation. As for what exactly they would do with a character like this, your guess is as good as mine. It's even possible that he's dead, as a document from Spencer in RE5 would seem to suggest. However, with the revelation...
Oh, what? Well, no. You gotta be specific. You gotta be specific on that. Because if he's dead in the series, if they denote it, you gotta say they denoted it.
Your guess is as good as mine. It's even possible that he's dead, as a document...
Okay, they're talking about Brandon, right? I don't want to mishear this guy.
Relevance. not to mention the harm that his own organization would go on to cause after his separation. As for what exactly they would do with a character like this, your guess is as good as mine. It's even possible that he's dead, as a document from Spencer in RE5 would seem to suggest.
Well, what do you mean by that? Spencer's notebook, guys, we gotta actually look at it. Because if it like seems to suggest if he's like, hey, remember that Brendan guy? Well, you won't be seeing him around anymore, know what I mean? Then we don't have to speculate about this guy being Brendan. We gotta read it. We gotta read it. Like, seems to suggest is very broad. You can't do much with that information. Seems to suggest. Okay. By saying what? Come on. Just give me the text. Give me the text. Just give me the book. Just give me the book, man. Just give me the book. Damn. Seems to suggest he's dead. Please have the whole text. Like, when you're dealing with stuff like seems to suggest, like, what do you mean by that? Is it saying he's dead? Or is it like, I never saw him again? That doesn't mean he's dead. It is essentially two files sandwiched together. Entry was Spencer, while the second of his list composed by Albert Wesker, comprising of umbrella executives that could give him information on African facility with their most current status. File can be found inside a small briefcase on the bridge. Ah, here it is. Official localization. Oh, wow. Nice job, Resident Evil fandom. You even got the Japanese script. Nice. Just received word that Raccoon City has been wiped out. The Americans finally took action against us. I hope the irony of us using the very military machine that was supposed to protect them from foreign attackers to kill their own people is not lost on them. Well, I know the writers of this journal entry are of Japanese descent. Like, you look at that, like, it's almost like weird you used it on us. Wouldn't it be interesting wish fulfillment if you used it on yourself? While the danger posed by the threat of the T virus spreading was very real, I don't think Americans will easily forgive their government for the deaths of 100,000 of their own people. If the truth of this matter is ever brought to light, support for the current administration will plummet. I don't think he wants that. Even a child can see that they will come after Umbrella with everything they have to hide their own foolish mistakes. They will blame Umbrella for Raccoon City's annihilation. It would seem Umbrella will share Raccoon City's fate, but perhaps it will be to a lesser degree. It was not, because they were publicly traded. They had the shorts, okay? They had Dr. Michael Berry short Umbrella. You think that it would be able to get out of American short sellers at Wall Street? You thought Umbrella could survive Dr. Michael Berry? Dr. Michael Umbrella was nothing. That joke fell flat on its face. That joke fell out of the window like Jill fell out of the window on that flashback scene of Resident Evil 5. Umbrella was nothing but a tool for the research of the progenitor virus. Even without the tool, the research still survives. Only Umbrella's lowly employees will be hurt by its dissolution. Are we gonna get to Bailey? Patience before social media, before swiping a phone and getting 30-second videos that were like, oh man, Joe Rogan said an opinion that was X. I have an opinion that was Y. Before all that, we actually read things, okay? It's okay. It's okay, Alucardbatz. You can still read. Only a handful of people in the company are even aware of the African I'm not seeing anything. But I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Director Bailey has been confined to the African facility for almost 30 years. And even that has all been for this day. Okay, only a handful of people in the company are aware of the African facility's existence, thanks to our strict regulation of the flow of information. Only a minimum amount of personnel were ever transferred from Africa to other locations. They were always closely monitored. Director Bailey has been confined to the African facility for almost 30 years. And even that has all been for this day. What does that mean? All that remains is to close the facility and everything will go according to my plan. Director Bailey is recommended for 3, and even that is for this day. Does this seem to suggest that he's dead? No, he's confined. So it doesn't seem to suggest that. Oh. Does it mean they killed him on, quote unquote, on this day? Dude, he's deceased. What do you mean seems to suggest? It says he's dead. Now I know. I know fiction can change its mind. I know if Capcom wills it, he's alive. You could always do the lazy retconning of, I guess Spencer didn't know that he survived the bullet. You know what I mean? That stuff. He's got a bullet in his head like the James Bond villain. He feels no pain now, you know. You can do whatever you want. But the idea that the games are showing us evidence that he could be alive and are seeming to suggest he could come later, and this, in fact, could be him.
He's been in the shadows since.
No. This seems to suggest that the current canon, without being retconned in the future, that's very, very important to keep in mind. Without being retconned in the future, the future canon is he's dead. He's dead. Henning P could be alive. What if this was Henning P? No, I'm just joking.
It's Resident Evil 5.
So that took a really long time.
Connections with, well, no pun intended, with
to get to Brennan is dead, dude.
However,
not seems to suggest. It's not suggesting. Guys, we got to get our language here. We got to get our language on point. It's not seems to suggest I saw Brennan B drive off in a car and then there was an explosion and I heard that there was a lot of dead people in a pileup. It seems to suggest that Brennan B could be dead. No. This is like you're looking on the tag on a freaking toe. Brennan B is toe tagged, dude. Brennan B's gone.
With the revelation that he was the Connection's founder, I would assume that this was a mistake on Spencer's part, or that it's just something that they're going to retcon. I feel like...
Yeah, no. This guy's right. They could retcon it. They have the ability to retcon it. Now, why do you feel that way?
Satisfying conclusion.
They could.
They could. Co-founders. 2 died before we ever even learned who they were, and Spencer was killed off by Wesker. Without huge rewrites to the story, we'll likely never get to confront any of these individuals, but Brandon is a way to personify both the Connections and the past Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah, you could. You could do all sorts of stuff. There's all roads to you could. But this does not seem to suggest they're doing anything with Brendan Bailey. This seems to suggest he's toe tagged, dude. This dude is pushing up the daisies, brother.
As he was an integral
He's pushing up the progenitor plant, man.
With his bond
He's doing gardening with the cherubs.
Marcus, I can envision him still deifying his former mentor. It may be a way to bring zombies back into the series, as maybe
Ooh.
he wants to expand
It's like that meme, that guy like,
on Marcus's developments of the T-virus. I would love to see something in that vein, but is that what we're gonna get? It's hard to say at this point with how
it's not impossible to say, but is it hard to say?
shrouded in mystery the connections have been. So I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, thank you all for watching this video.
Okay, it's a cool video. We gotta get me signed in when I'm doing this so I can like these videos. That's the least I can do here. He's dead, dude. What happened to Zed? Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Is this Bailey? Bailey's dead, baby. Bailey's dead.
The connections themselves, his whereabouts are currently...
I don't think that's Bailey.
Unknown.
But I think, no, it's not unknown. He's dead.
But is considered alive at the same time. No one...
Who? Now, why? He may, when he says he's considered alive at the same time, he may actually have a reason for that. Why is he assumed to be alive when Spencer said, a dude is dead?
No one really knows.
Spencer had no reason to lie. It was a journal.
Whereabouts of Brandon Bailey, which is why...
Yeah, his whereabouts might be under a flower garden in the African marshlands, if you know what I'm saying, brother.
I think he is a possibility, but also, I also think this can be Oswald E. Spencer.
Oh no. Oh no.
Because this is such an Oswald E. Spencer kind of thing to do. You know, have...
Well, you know another Oswald E. Spencer thing to do is? Like, this is an Oswald E. Spencer thing to do right here. That's Oswald E. Spencer things to do. Breathe in through tubes in your nose. Oswald E. Spencer things to do. Wheel your wheelchair into the kitchen. Open the refrigerator. Pour some Donald Duck orange juice. Sip it. Other Oswald E. Spencer things to do. Mastermind calamity. Other Oswald E. Spencer things to do. Do not buy Rogaine for men. Other Oswald E. Spencer things to do. Sidious vibes. Other Oswald E. Spencer things to do. Die, dude! He's dead! He's dead! Watch! It's all here! I mean, unless I am like, maybe I overestimate having an arm plunged through your chest. I could be. I mean, this shit happened to Wesker, right? Wesker gets an arm plunged into him. He plunges an arm into somebody else. No one dies. Okay, I understand.
With endless potential. Of them, only one survived.
Sidious?
You.
Dude, he's going hard. How do I not remember how Sidious this guy's...
Become a god.
This guy's performance was, dude.
Creating a new world with an advanced race of human beings.
Dude, listen to how Sidious...
Children, superior breed of humans. A new superior breed of...
Now witness the firepower of a fully operational Umbrella Corporation.
A new superior breed of humans, given birth by the progenitor virus. The Wesker children were entrusted with endless potential. Of them, only one survived.
Only one survived. Dude, that was so...
Are you saying I was manufactured?
I was
Are you saying
a god? Creating a new world with an advanced race of human beings. However, Nobody.
Okay, this is what Oswald E. Spencer does a lot. Okay?
Is now mine.
Looked pretty dead to me.
Having the gramophone right next to him, which is an antique item. It's an old guy. It's a really old guy. So obviously some of the household items are going to be pretty old-fashioned. That's what he basically initially just been around.
How are you going to listen to a old school recording device there for your music enjoyment? You're going to listen to Bach when you got a hole in your chest.
With the old, been around with the whole time. And if you enter the Spencer Mansion, you actually do see some of these old antique-ish items. And this is heavily giving you that essential aura. Just him sitting in the dark.
Yeah,
you know, window right there.
I agree with the vibe of old school. With people that don't have a large gaping wound in their chest.
Somehow, maybe he had turned.
But like I said, it happened to Wesker.
He actually found the key to immortality, which was his initial agenda when it comes to the original Resident Evil timeline, before his quote-unquote demise.
Yeah.
Wesker, so I don't know if he actually died or not, came back from.
So Wesker figured out a way to survive a tyrant arm going through his chest. Let's be fair too, okay? So this.
That right is now mine.
Okay, this is more of a reason to double tap than buy. I want to see original, man. I'm a sucker for the original, man. This is way original. This is before capturing on the computer. Okay. Okay, so.
Wesker, you're pitiful.
Dude, I missed this voice acting.
Savior? You say this
Wesker,
failure
you are
is your
pitiful.
savior?
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
You can make sure yourself whether Tyrant is a failure or not.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, he's typing! Oh my god, he's related to the Ashfords, man. You know, I love how video game logic is. You're the strongest, most versatile killer the universe has ever seen. You wear your heart on the outside of your skin organ, outside of your protective layer of bone. You wear your weak point. Video game logic is wild. Alright, kill Wesker. That's what we're here for. Okay, here we go.
Go to hell.
Don't come this way! Oh, the memes, dude. Don't come this way!
We'll join you too. What?
You didn't...
Don't come this way! No!
Like, look, you see this? I will admit, to this guy's credit, to Conjured Lion's credit, I will admit, this looked more certain than this. Where is that? Than the other one, okay? This looked like dead man not walking.
You can't kill me.
Oh my god, those old games.
Somehow probably
and I want to tell you guys, this was scary.
So my go-to has been the Neutrogena Collagen Bank SPF Moisture.
cheat death, but at this point, who knows? Here, we actually have a whole sky view of Raccoon City itself, that giant crater there. That is when the missile hit in Raccoon City when it comes to Resident Evil.
Is anybody going to come? Look. And I don't like being that guy necessarily, okay? I don't like being that guy that brings reality into something that's obviously something with zombies, okay? It's a little silly. But to have a crater that was created by a nuclear bomb. Let's see what happens to these buildings, shall we? Okay, you see that? That seemed to indicate to me through the visual arts that there ain't a building left after that. You know what I mean? I don't see many. Like, oh, look at the way it just incinerate. Think of the word incinerated. That means there's not anything standing. Now, okay.
That's it. I've had it. This time they've gone too far.
Okay, so that and look, yeah, that seems to me no building.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are having an amazing day. And what do we have
But
here? Don't know who this could be on.
I don't want to be the guy being like, actually, because dude, if we get to go back to the RPD ruins, what am I going to complain because it's not realistic? No. I ain't going to look the gift horse in the mouth. See, this is looking a gift horse in the mouth right there. You ain't going to see that from me. I don't know about this being Spencer. And I really don't think that it's Bailey.
I don't know if that's like a retcon, but I'm pretty sure
Bailey seemed to be like, guys, what do you think about Alex Trevelyan coming back to James Bond? He's actually been alive. Man, I don't know, bud. That's a pretty long fall.
interesting because not everything apparently got obliterated. I don't know if that's like a retcon.
Oh, thank you. He brought this up. It is a little. Yeah, I would use the term retcon.
Came back from the dead somehow.
They retconned. Listen, if you have to retcon me going back to one of my favorite locales, not just in video games, I'm talking about pop culture. I'm talking about movies, games, books. All of the above. Some of my favorite locales, the island from Lost. Okay. The lady bar from Sopranos, that's a joke. Okay. Some of my favorite locales, Derry, Maine sewers. Who doesn't love the Derry, Maine sewers? Okay, from It, if you're a little lost on that. Camp Crystal Lake. I mean, Kakariko Village, the floating continent is something from Final Fantasy VI. I always think of Raccoon Police Department lobby, just the lobby. Raccoon Police Department lobby. So this set piece. This set piece, to me, is up there with the top 20 locales ever. Oh, and the music, dude. This is one of the greatest set pieces in all media. So I ain't gonna cry a river
Hey everybody, hope you guys
if you're gonna retcon your way into going here. In the ruins too? Okay. Someone that grew up in the Southwest, I visited many Indian ruins back in the day for recreation. You know, you go for a hike, you get to check out the cool Indian ruin. If you're familiar with the Southwest, you're familiar with that. It's kind of like you're gonna go to a museum in a big city. In the Southwest, you're gonna go to a Native American ruin.
Right here
Okay,
seems really
so
this gray specifically.
searching through the RPD like you would a native ruin. Oh,
And
dude.
what do we have here? We
Yeah.
actually have the RPD building with
No complaints out of me.
the aftermath from the blast that happened in Raccoon City. Just super interesting. Are we going to visit the, blown
Oh no, they have to now. Oh, you don't put this in a trailer and not explore RPD. That is not happening for me, son.
Most likely, yes. Do I think, are we going to explore the whole RPD? Probably not, because everything is probably blocked off from the rubble. But I think we are going to revisit the
Okay,
RPD
that's a
once again.
fair
We got
enough
this guy on the floor
assumption.
saying, stay away from her, whatever that means. Don't really know what this guy actually is doing here, to be honest. I really don't have any information about this guy. Maybe he's actually from the FBI itself, what it looks like.
So I gotta watch myself because my first inclination is to make Taco Bell
like a
jokes.
team investigating these incidents, and just things went down when they arrived. And here is probably one of the freakiest parts of the trailer. Is this thing actually crawling from the ceiling? If you look at the
I have heard, it's speculated, I'll source it out to Bakba Soup. Oh, they got the Garbage Bag Man for their full breakdown on this video. Do they have a theory of the Garbage Bag Man? He's got the drip, dude. And by drip, I mean my old vegetables and trash from dinner. The remains are dripping through the trash bag.
top, it actually looks like it's a hole, maybe? So it can be a hole.
I've heard it speculated these are female liquors from Outbreak. Possibly. Don't take that from me. It's something we could look into.
Oh, and this thing is just going from hole to hole, essentially. But this thing looks absolutely creepy. It looks absolutely insane. Very terrifying. Not sure
Yeah,
if this is
cool.
gonna be a stalker. And
Yeah,
most
it's cool.
likely it will be. This is going to be like some alien isolation.
Oh my god, look at the hair. It's Spencer.
Feel like, because now it can go inside of the walls, maybe come out from like holes from around the map or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's going to be
Oh, yeah, it kind of reminds me like Jack Baker just goes through walls.
extremely terrifying. Here we actually see somebody actually being suffocated, and we don't really
Is that
know
okay?
who's that guy in the hoodie there. It could be a main character. I feel like this is like a huge red herring. If you want me to be completely honest, I really do think
Red
this might
herring?
be one of the main characters or a villain. Who knows? It could be Leon. Who knows? We really don't.
Could be Leon. Oh, dude. Okay, this is one of my. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this is. I'm tripping here. The concept that could be Leon. I think Cope and Hope are contagious as dope. Hope and dope. No. Hope and Cope are contagious as dope. Really. Really. Write that down somewhere. Because they're influencing my thinking that could be Leon. My god, would I even want it? They want Leon so bad. They want something they don't want. We don't want Garbage Bag Man to be Leon, do we? I mean, God, his new skin on DVD looked alcoholic. Look at him now if that was Leon.
Actually see somebody.
Okay, but this is like the center point I want to come back to on this. This is the main point of the stream in the video. We wanted our legacy character so bad, specifically Leon. He's nowhere to be seen yet. We're projecting Leon onto this trailer where there is no Leon. Isn't that fascinating to me? Isn't that fascinating? Fan projections of what they wished was there are seen. Like, your dirty clothes looks like a boogeyman when you wake up at 4 a.m. This guy looks like Leon to people, or at least potentially.
Actually being
Like, this guy here looks more like the warden from Shawshank Redemption. Show him on the video. Looks more like the warden from Shawshank Redemption than Garbage Bag Man looks like Leon. In fact, Garbage Bag Man looks like Marilyn Manson from what was that era? What's like, it is more likely, let me find that era. Oh, please don't take too long. I forgot the album that he was doing that. I would do the album name and probably find it faster. Listen, you have 20 seconds to comply. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. We're getting close. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Come on, where's the body bag? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. No, you got it. Yo, my God! At the fucking buzzer, dude. At the buzzer. Okay, what album was it? Oh, yeah, it was the one with Devour. It's the one with Wow that I mentioned earlier. Okay. This era of Manson. Okay. Let's go. Come on, Internet. What's going on? Okay.
Those who answer the call of the vagabond know that the best stories aren't about where you went. They're about how you got there.
What?
Because they know the real destination is the adventure itself.
Okay. I was tripping, man. Okay. What? Okay. This era. You see that? This era is... This garbage bag man is looking more like Manson from the era of that. Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Okay.
Hope you guys are happy. Ordinary. The hoodie there. It could be.
I would believe that's Marilyn Manson before I would believe that's Leon. Look at the skin.
A main character. I feel
They're
like
they're not going to do that to Leon, dude.
red herring.
I guess they did a little bit to Jill. Oh my God, it's disturbing me, the concept that could be Leon.
To be completely honest, I really do think this might be one of the main.
But I think this is what I'm talking about. People want Leon so bad, they're seeing him where he doesn't exist.
Ordinary zombie that looks like he's from the FBI, just going by the clothes on him in the bottom there. And finally, we have a zombie, something we haven't seen in the series for quite a while when it comes to the main entries on him in the bottom there. And finally, we have a zombie, something we haven't seen in the series for quite. If you want me to be completely honest, I really do think this might be one of the main characters or a villain. Who knows? It could be Leon. Who knows? We really don't know. Here we got a zombie here, just a regular ordinary zombie that looks like he's from the FBI, just going by the clothes on him in the bottom there. And finally, we have a zombie, something we haven't seen in the series for.
That looks like police, not FBI.
Entries, at least, heavily reminiscent to Resident Evil 1, and especially this font here, this actual style of font here, which I absolutely love. This is actually a
Yeah, it's cool.
style of font that's actually in Resident Evil 1 Remake 2002. It's actually phenomenal how they actually put this together, and I cannot wait until this game comes
True.
out. And there you go. This is pretty much...
Let's see if someone's got some good
After the
stuff
long wait,
here.
Capcom has finally revealed the next mainline installment.
I don't think it's Bailey. I don't think it's Spencer. And good Lord have mercy. I want Leon in the game, but don't let him be garbage bag Sith.
Evil franchise. And in this video, I'll be going over 12 things you might have missed in the
That's
trailer.
not Leon,
Some
man.
of them
Come
are kind of
on.
obvious, but need to be mentioned, while others are cool details that I haven't seen a lot of people bring up. So guys, without further
Okay.
ado, let's get
Nice. That's promising.
The reveal starts by showing the main protagonist of the game, Grace Ashcroft, who works for the FBI and is writing an investigation report for the 4th victim of a new unidentified disease.
Okay.
After finishing the report, she is called by head of the FBI, Nathan Demsby, to meet him in his office.
I like how specific he's being. He's being very, like,
If this is about the report you
giving the
asked for
variables
yesterday,
out
it'll be
in
ready
line.
No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body.
It's there that he reveals another body has been found that is linked to the same disease they have been investigating, and he wants her in on the case. Then he tosses over a file titled the Wrenwood Hotel Case, and reveals that this location is where Grace's mother was murdered.
I know. That's where your mother was murdered. Alyssa died
Okay, so that guy's in the flashback.
8 years ago.
Oh my god, what if it was Leon? Remember how it looked like Chris Redfield was up to no good in 8? And it turned out he didn't kill the guy's wife. It was really the villain. What if it looked like he had something to do with her mother's death, and it was really Garbage Bag Man was Leon, and he was like helping?
Alyssa died 8 years
Oh Lord, dude, the cope is contagious. I am telling you. They have me wondering if that's Leon now.
Ashcroft, an investigative reporter who played a prominent role in the Resident Evil Outbreak games, acting as one of the survivors who battled through the Raccoon City incident and managed to escape before its destruction. Alyssa was also
all I gotta say,
from numerous articles found around the
all I gotta say, okay, this is if Leon turns out to be the Garbage Bag Sith, that's what I have to say. Yeah, I would love Leon to be in the game. I really would. It's like I would really love some Taco Bell, okay? But then if you put pineapple in my 7-layer burrito, it's not really a 7-layer burrito. It's not what I wanted. I don't want Leon in a garbage bag, man. It's looking like garbage bag Jin from Tekken. Okay, where is the other one?
If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body.
It's there that he reveals another body has been found that is linked to the same disease they have been investigating, and he wants her in on the case. Then he tosses over a file titled the Wrenwood Hotel Case, and reveals that this location is where Grace's mother was murdered.
I know. That's where your mother was murdered.
So Garbage Bag Man has something happened with her mother.
Perhaps it's time for you to...
And Garbage Bag Man was there.
Her mother being none other than Alyssa Ashcroft, an investigative reporter who played a prominent role in the Resident Evil Outbreak games, acting as one of the many survivors who battled through the Raccoon City incident and managed to escape before its
My life is
shit. Alyssa was also mentioned in Resident Evil 7 from numerous articles found around the game.
Oh,
which
really?
discuss her investigation.
Missing tourists and vagrants, at least 20 people. Yeah, like the Baker family was basically like the family from Devil's Rejects or the Sawyer family, right, from Texas
into
Chainsaw.
mysterious disappearances in the town of Dolby during the Baker family incident. So this means that Alyssa's death at Renwood Hotel was sometime after Resident Evil 7, and Nathan actually mentions that her death is 8 years prior as they discuss the investigation. I am going to be making a full lore video on Alyssa Ashcroft, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Now, as Grace recalls haunting flashbacks of her mom's death, she remembers a mysterious hooded person, and we actually never find out who this person is. But some people are pointing out—
Oh, please! Is that... So, imagine this is like an inverse Bizarro, okay? You see the image on the left, and now look at the image on the right. Now imagine if you had an image on the left of a guy with blonde hair. He looked Ken doll handsome. He had the riz and the drip that any rich celebrity would be envious of. And then on the right, you had the Undertaker from WWE. Is that... You want to see Undertaker in the WWE? Do you want to see the Undertaker like that? I mean...
fact that the person's facial structure—
Or is this just a reflect... Like, don't even worry whether that's Leon. It's not. This is maybe a really good example, like an accidental social experiment in people seeing what they want to see. We had an expectation of seeing Leon. And now you got a dude in a garbage bag hood. He's got the hood over his eyes like Jin from Tekken. But they see Leon there because they want to see Leon. I told you. I heard people saying the pictures in the background of the office at the beginning of the trailer were Leon.
Structure is very similar to that of Leon Kennedy, and this by no means is official, but well-known leaker Dust Golem has mentioned that Leon will play a prominent role in this game. Means is official, but well-known leaker
Oh
Dust Golem
my
has
god.
mentioned that Leon will play a prominent role in this game, so maybe this might just be Leon.
Grace.
Oh my god, what if it is, dude? What if that is? As much as I resist it, I would be entertained. But I feel like this is just cope, though. See, this is so sad because they're infecting me with their copium and their false hopes of having Leon.
Look at possibly the main antagonist of the game, where he reveals that there is something special about Grace, going as far as to say that she is the chosen one. So I'm gonna assume...
Okay, like, honestly, if that's Leon, this is Capcom. This is Capcom if it turns out to be Leon.
Oh, so everyone invited a +1 for dinner. You officially need a lot of pizza.
Well guys, after the long wait, Capcom was found around the game, which discuss her investigation into mysterious disappearances in the town of Dolby during the Baker family. She mentions that her death is 8 years and we actually never find out who this person is, but some people are pointing out the fact that the person's facial structure
More like Resident Evil Copium trailer.
is very similar to
I feel like this is Resident Evil 9 Copium. Should be the subtitle.
And this by no means is official, but well-known leaker Dust Golem has mentioned that Leon will play a prominent role in this game.
Well, how accurate is this guy? What's his name? Dusk Golem?
Is official, but well-known leaker Dust Golem has mentioned that Leon will play a prominent role.
Like, what's his accuracy? What's his batting average? Like, there's DVD leakers where there was a guy that said Springtrap's the next killer and he said he had a fire axe. People said he was a fake because why the hell would Springtrap have a fire axe? That's how you know that leak was a good God leak. That ain't guessing. Yeah, yeah. Well, this sounds like it's gonna have a bias because he says he's questioning his credibility, but let's see.
Hello everyone. So I want to talk about something that's kind of been bugging me lately in regards to this whole storm of Resident Evil leaks lately, and more specifically Dust Golem and what I think about his credibility nowadays. If you don't know who Dust Golem is, I'm not sure why you clicked on this video, but maybe you're just
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. What do you mean if I don't know who Dusk Golem is, like you're not sure why I'm on the video? I'm on the video because I don't know who Dusk Golem is.
been leaking horror game info and stuff like that for years now, and up until very recently, I thought this guy was pretty accurate and under the impression that he had some very solid insider sources,
Okay.
specifically regarding Capcom and Resident Evil.
Okay.
But otherwise, and I'll explain why, but I have to start from the beginning. So we got some rumors from at least 2 different sources that Resident Evil 1 was possibly getting a remake, like another remake, for Resident Evil's 30th anniversary. I covered this in a previous video as well.
Okay.
That will be in the description, but it would be an over-the-shoulder RE engine remake of the game, and yeah, that sounds awesome, of course.
Okay.
Necessary, and that's valid too, but Dust Golem kind of shut this down this week. So this is like a multi-part tweet where he claims that RE1...
Okay, I'm not... What? Let's see another one. Interesting. That's kind of sad. I liked Revelations. Oh, see? Oh. Yeah, look. People really wanted that Leon. They still do. They haven't given up hope. What was this guy's name again? Dusk Golem. I hope someone could just make this really easy. It's in development. Well, I will say this. The closing chapter for the current arc in the series. That seems to have resonance with the word requiem. Requiem means end. Like the film by Darren Aronofsky. Requiem for the dream, meaning the ending of a dream. So, a closing chapter for the current arc, Requiem seems to suggest that. Oh. I don't know. Well, we'll just take it as a leaker said.
Hey everybody!
I don't know.
With the hotel itself, so knowing what your mom waking up upstairs out. First of all, he does have a midnight outfit, like a.
What's this?
Well, guys, after
there we
the
go.
long wait,
I already watched it.
So be shame. So maybe this might just be Leon.
Grace.
You're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
After the FBI section, we cut to Grace Ashcroft having been supposedly kidnapped and strapped down, and we get our first look at possibly the main antagonist of the game, where he reveals that there is something special about Grace, going as far as
Is that Garbage Bag Man?
Grace and strapped down.
The chosen one.
Is that Garbage Bag Man? Well, it looks like hair. He's not wearing his garbage bag hood, right? Or is that hair?
The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
After the FBI section, we cut to Grace Ashcroft having been supposedly kidnapped and strapped down, and we get our first look at possibly the main antagonist of the game, where he reveals that there is something special about Grace, going as far as to say that she is the chosen one. So I'm gonna assume he's
Neo?
likely the person responsible for Grace's kidnapping, so he can run whatever experiments on her.
These days, Hollywood's gotten so woke that Trinity would end up being the one and not the white male.
This is just a prediction for me, but if Leon is in the game, I'm gonna predict he will
I
show
like watching Critical Drinker. Listen, you know what the new Marvel movie is? It's trite crap. It's trite woke crap. Trite woke crap, all of it.
here and rescue Grace. In this section, we also get a look at a city with many missing person signs, and this could be the result of the man we saw earlier kidnapping,
Looking like the Baker
and
House.
experimenting on dozens of people to find his supposed chosen one.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
In this next section, we see the iconic Raccoon City years after its destruction, and during this we hear some voice lines of certain people potentially investigating the area. Now there's been a lot of theories online of who this could be.
It's
To
not
me,
Bailey.
The first person sounds like Leon, the second one sounds like Ada, and the
Okay, the second one, that lady does sound like Ada to
third
me.
one sounds like
I agree. I thought that too.
kidnapping and experimenting on
It sounded like the Ada voice actress for Resident Evil 4 remake.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
In this next section, we see the iconic Raccoon City years after
Not
its
that I think it's
destruction,
Ada.
and during this we hear some voice lines of certain people potentially investigating the area. Now there's been a lot of theories online of who this could be, but to me the first person sounds like Leon, the second one sounds like Ada, and the third one sounds like it could either be Chris or Carlos from Resident Evil 3.
I honestly feel that even if any legacy characters come into this is fascinating how people have an expectation, and when the expectation isn't at least denoted, when it's not denoted, dude, they're seeing it everywhere.
None of this is confirmed, but I know there have been so many different rumors talking about the return of these iconic characters, but we will just have to wait.
It's because they want it, dude. Like, imagine you're some simp and you have a hyper fixation on a certain person that is desired. When you go to the grocery store and someone has similar hair color, you're gonna double take thinking you see them. They're Leon simps. And I can't not include myself in thinking Leon is one of my all-time favorite characters. They want to see Leon. But the game is not denoting it to you. You should not assume. You should not assume Garbage Bag Sith is Leon. They're not denoting it. Maybe this is the genius of Capcom. When I first saw the trailer, I was disappointed. Somewhere in my mind, I saw like Leon looking at the POV of the camera. Kind of like Wesker here, looking at the POV of the camera. And I like, where's everybody going? Bingo. Like, the fanboy section of your brain wants to see him. I do. But the trailer ain't giving you anything, you know. Look at this dude's lips. Look at his lips. Aren't they Leon lips? I don't know. Are they?
See more of the game.
I don't know, man. That cop looks
From there, we go
epic.
into the Raccoon Police Station and find a man severely injured, who I believe is saying stay away from them.
Yeah.
Right after, we get our first look at one of the many enemies. Of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
game
yeah.
as it
That
comes
looks
around the
really
station.
cool.
Maybe this injured person tried to distract this enemy to buy others some time to escape. After
Or
this, we
he's
see what
changing,
looks to be the
right?
same
He's
person from
infected.
Grace's
That's what I got
flashbacks,
from
attempting
that.
to apprehend another man.
I think this
Following
guy,
we get a
he's
look
being
at one of the
stay away
infected
from me
in our first
because
look at one of the many enemies of the game as it crawls around the station.
so there's certain things you could take from this. He knows that he's going to be infected, or remember how she's the chosen one and she is on upside down and strapped to that apparatus? She might change. She might have changed. So the Ashford daughter may have had some transformation and he distrusts her. Possibly. It's pretty broad that it's hard to exact the context. Exact and pinpoint exactly what is going on in that context.
From there, we go into the Raccoon police station and find a man severely injured, who we see what looks to be the same hooded person from Grace's flashbacks attempting to apprehend another man. Following this, we get a look.
It looks like, too, gameplay, it's like RE2 with the flashlights, right? Like you're walking around and you're looking at stuff with flashlights.
Following this, we get a look at one of the infected from this game, and then we see an unidentified woman walking through an unknown building.
Is that... Let me look at this. So there's the buildings we know of are the FBI place and the RPD. Now, we see the RPD ruins X amount of years after the nuclear explosion. This is not the ruins. It ain't you know why it ain't giving me RPD vibes? Because that painting isn't some macabre, lewd abomination. No.
Unidentified woman walking through an unknown building.
Okay. Maybe the FBI headquarters?
Lastly, we hear the sound of chains, followed up with a close-up of an infected.
Chains?
Lastly, we hear one of the infected from this game, and then we see an unidentified woman walking through an unknown building.
Oh, yeah.
One of the infected from this game, and then we see an unidentified woman walking through an unknown building. Lastly, we hear the sound of chains, followed up with a close-up of an infected. When I first heard the chains, I thought of Lisa Trevor from Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah, that's what he was making me think
saw
of.
her was when Wesker left her to die in the
that kind of seemed like Lisa Trevor-ish,
with
right?
regeneration abilities, I feel like it wouldn't be a stretch for her to have survived and continue to roam around for years. And I actually want to go back earlier in the trailer to this enemy. If you look on the wrist, you can actually see chains. So maybe we might just see Lisa act as some sort of
even if it's not Lisa, the thing that with the chains is probably the thing that came from the ceiling. So not any game outside of 9, but the chains and the mouth at the end of the trailer probably belongs to that thing lurking through the ceiling.
Resident Evil 9 reveal trailer. If I missed anything, be sure to let me know in the comments. And if you want to catch up on the series lore.
Okay, I'm gonna end this stream pretty soon. But this is what I really think about this. Is outside of Resident Evil, what I'm finding fascinating about this is don't just look at the game in the trailer like in a vacuum without people observing and discussing it. The observation and the discussions have been maybe more fascinating to me than the trailer itself. Although I have to say, the Resident Evil, the iconic elements of it, one of the things that even as much as characters such as Leon, Chris, Jill, and Claire, that's my top golden 4, is the locales, especially Raccoon Police Department. I'm really happy to see the Raccoon Police Department if we're going to travel through the ruins. I love that. That being said, these legacy characters that are so cherished from the community, they've been yearning for them to return so badly that when it isn't denoted, they're seeing them everywhere. They're seeing them on the literal walls. I think that we might have to accept the fact that unless it's in a very smaller role, like Chris was in 7, I think we might have to accept the fact it's not going to be a legacy heavy game. The person said, this voice sounds like Leon, this one sounds like Ada, this one sounds like Chris, this one sounds like Carlos. I'm not getting the impression that we're getting the amount of like massive all you can eat legacy fan service that people are kind of want. I think there's been a need there. I think, like, I'll state this again. I can't overemphasize this. Resident Evil 6, by having a legacy clusterfuck of characters, associated that type of approach with the Michael Bay style corny game that a lot of people did not like. And when Capcom rightfully pivoted away from that approach, they also pivoted away from the legacy buffet. I don't know if they're going back to legacy buffet, even though it's what the fans yearn for. I think there is a little bit of hope if you're really wanting those legacy characters, though, that they might be hiding Leon underneath the garbage bag. It's possible. I don't think so. I think what makes me think it might be Leon, I think I'm getting juked with the same hope that other people are. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Do I want that to be... Do I want Leon to look like dollar store Black Mage? Do I want Leon to look like dollar store Black Mage from Final Fantasy? Like Tyler Durden Gandalf without the beard. I don't know, dude. I don't know if I want that to be Leon. I'm not sure. Well, that being said, all the speculation, all the theorizing on that trailer, I find the most interesting thing the legacy community are projecting their need for that legacy on the things that aren't necessarily there. And the prime one, evident, this is so clearly copium projection. The one that, to me, like the garbage bag man, they're kind of making me go, well, his chin and his lips are kind of similar. Okay, but the one to me that is really over the top, like, you just really want to see Mother Mary on a tortilla today, don't you? Is this.
Grace Ashcroft. Grace.
Even Jumpy, I mean, okay.
Grace.
That picture is Leon. I've said that picture is Leon, and that's Ashley. That, to me, when you're compiling an argument, you got a few bullet points. Maybe you got 8 bullet points. You're doing pretty good, bruh. Like, you're proving something. You got a nice sample. The number one exemplar of wanting legacy in the game and coping over it is because it doesn't seem to be here. Is this painting being Leon? Okay. Oh, it's a good stream. I had fun. And away we go. Later, hasta la bye-bye.